aha a Pendream editorial. Mesro say ubedu pe na wa subscribe to the channel no. And me pacho oh yes a boy pa. Ema ya juma yedi no ha no ekoso yi. Na ye be bo video bi e di akyere mo. Na video a ye ba be bo e di akyere mu yi odofo wo be ho say ani wo be ho e di ama oman Ghana Kwame Nkrumah Ghana eye omampeni JJ Rollins eja mu boko baton no na odeko hye omampeni eye JA Akuffo ensam na omampeni JA Akuffo tam ya di tumirika edeko ma eye omampeni dada a wanya ne ba bi ekọ eye Atamils Professor Atamils ondo so okura mu a di tumirika de baton no edeko ma omampeni John Dramani Mahama na omampeni John Dramani Mahama ko America na obia susu se we de Usain Bolt kind of America and watu e de akwhye omampeni Akuffo Addo nsa enti na ye fi se enka Akuffo Addo anya so mi se de enka free yan konko a free no se demu a se ekoi na nso so ankoba ne sa omampeni Akuffo Addo ko so eye baton mu a ono nkwa de wasign achi e de baton no di America gidigidi o de assign achi a se Ghana yakoto amna donko bim. In fact, video ya be bo e de achiro no be mo hu say ne de bia Ghana for e ka se omampanyini Akuffo Addo wasai Ghana wa hwe Ghana form or the Ghana for NCC form wa ba de Ghana abe ye amanfo anase asase a be ka ne say amanfo e de twetwe ye resresre ye anka Ghana de ka me ka ne say abiri biara wo wiase hanom no a ye be bo Ghana din no enka ye bo Ghana din twa aman bi mpoa oman bi fo e de Ghana twa omompanyifo mpoa chese Ghana ye oman a free Dr. Kwame Nkrumah mreso no abiri biara ye odimpa e wa bonten omampanyini Akuffo Addo mpan so de na chese akoye bobo ye be bo video bi e de akyere mo ya e free eye Kenya man mu obra eye Spice FM radio station bi a friend of Spice FM ewo eye Kenya man mu na omu interview omu professor bi na professor no e kyere omu mu se enyoma ekoso ewo Kenya man mu no se oman hwe no man si ano entem chrono corruption eni kwaya aman panyifo bi faso di oman ni sika so oman hwe ye a mohon bai ansisi ano a anhwa na Ghana akodane na Kenya akodane te se Ghana enne o kiremu ewo program no so a enne Ghana na oman biara nim so omobom hombode no Ghana atete apansam a ekire se o ma Kenya fo hu o haw ni abebrese ni yaudie ni oyeni ato Ghana fo a enne Ghana fo yentumi mpo entua yaka kire se IMF krampo no ye ho akoye omomobo enti odi etu eye Kenya fo efo be pese ye beko na yakotie eye enkoma ekoso ewo Spice FM ewo Kenya mbambu na ye ba ya beto as na ansa na no mesra so obe subscribe to Pendream editorial pacho bomodin pa we subscribe button no ase ade kokoro na odonsa atim so ade amaye no so na eboaye na ema ye djuma ye nsusu ye di no ha no eko anim na eboa ema ye nsusu de bia na ye ba mo anim na ye de bebre esa de bramo yanko ne yanko hwe video no emra ye ba ye beto ankomo no so.
When you start seeing a government struggling with paying salaries, Eric, as you mentioned, you've seen some of the government's people on television talking about the balance between debt and salaries. What are the priorities? We are teetering on what is called debt default. And I think Kenyans need to understand what that means to our lives. Ghana recently, December, went through a modicum of debt default. They could not meet their debt obligations. So what did Ghana do? They went to the IMF. And the IMF told them, before we look at you dealing with your debts, the sovereign in your country must understand and feel the pain first. Yes, CT. So Ghana calls in their bonds and says, now if you have a bond of 10,000 shillings, you now take it at a discounted rate of 30%. So it shaves off
people who had lent it domestically.
Yes,
basically
it shaves off 3,000 shillings and says 7,000 is yours. Now this 3,000, come back for it in 3 years. The next 3 years is 0% interest, but in 3 years you come, we give you 3%. But it didn't stop there. They went to bank accounts because the threat of banks collapsing is huge. So they come to your bank account. They raid your current account. They do the same thing. Here they will raid your M-Pesa and do the same thing.
What is raiding and doing the same thing? What does that mean?
It means that if you have a deposit in your M-Pesa of 10,000 shillings, they will take 30%, and you then have 7,000. So your balance, if you have a current account,
your balance suddenly becomes 7,000.
Becomes 7,000. Who is the sovereign?
It's you, the citizen.
How do you starve off a bank collapse?
You detain the cash.
You detain the cash. And that is coming to this country. That is our best case scenario.
That is our best
case scenario.
Right, I'm waiting for
But what has it happened? What has happened to Ghana in 4 months? You've had an inflation rate that went from 12% to 45%.
Yeah.
So even whatever money you have left has become half its value on the market.
Right.
All right?
Purchasing power.
The 7,000 that was left on M-Pesa is now worth 3,000.
3,000.
Yes.
This is where we are headed. And that is our best case scenario. If you see Greece, if you remember the issue of Greece, they closed the banks.
Literally
for
with
4
people's
years.
deposit.
Your money was locked up.
Yeah.
Lebanon, they are still closed. And the currency has lost 90% of its value. Lebanon is still closed from 2019. Banks are closed. You're told, we'll give you a little stipend every month for you to try and exist, of money that is yours in your bank account. So our best case scenario is the Ghanaian situation. This is a reality to our lives going forward. And what are the implications of this? The implications mean that you cannot have the life that we are living today. However much we are struggling, this struggle will pale in comparison to what is coming. What does it mean in terms of jobs, confidence, salaries, and so on and so forth? This is where we are headed. And this is what we were trying to articulate last year when we did this audit. This audit was an analysis of our debt and the fact that it is going to choke us. Next year's repayments in the next financial year are also 1.4 trillion. Where is this revenue coming from? The following year, our repayments are 1.6 trillion. They keep increasing. I've seen some people say we have 2 years to recover the economy. We will not recover. As long as that burden is on us, there's nothing called recovery here. Because what are we going to do to commensurately produce the income to deal with that debt?
Enti enkoma ekoso ewo Spice FM Kenya eno ena menu mienu yakuti we onye Ghana ni ena we enye Ghana ha no waka se eye NDC ni bi eno wakotena ho a wo ye propaganda eye sabio CPP ni bi anase Akuffo Addo no ankasa obi a wotan no wo ne party mu bi ena akotena ba bi a o ka nsam a o kan we eye Kenya man mu ya nipa no o kasa mpo no wonye politician ane Kenya maimu ene chese o ka Ghana ho asem sa kire kwan a ene corruption ti Ghana chese yentumi entua ye naka chese Ghana atete apansam a ene ordinary pensioners mposika wode akoto bank no oman Ghana se yaje afirimunsam edikutua yaka ana se oman Ghana se yentumi ntua maka emamu bi wode ye beto ba bi kopem se emrembam ni nya ska ne yatua amamo eche se enyoma akoso wo Ghana hakro no bo awi balawu che se corruption ne bribery a ekoso wo Ghana ha no akoma ho kwan ama ene Ghana imua Ghana mua ene Ghana aye eche se asam omaya che se yede no eka etu amanfo fo se munhwe yie na mankoye te se Ghana Dr. Kwame Nkrumah Ghana John Dramani Mahama Ghana ena enne chese yentumi ntua yaka chese Kenya omai Kenya empu edi yen chese asusudia odi tu oman no for say omunhwe ye no omunsisi nyoma bi hu kwan na sane Ghana for ntumi amanage omuman no yie na ampanyi Akuffo Addo ne Dr. Bawumia J Samra ne din chese be kasa ye chese oman no ne brofo ene chese kokoti chese nsembebri be kat de to Ghana for sum ya ye de oman ehye omunsa endo oman tumi ama oman no ntumi amfa ne to mapa no magu oman anim asepoto no eno ena otu Kenya for so for say Kenya for ema omo ani embra omo ho so na omo hwe na omunsisi enyoma bi hu kwan enten so kra ansana asam ato Kenya sadia ato Ghana no ansana akoto omo esa enti Ghana for ya mode ye kasa na mo say ye ebia politics and ye no. This is something to tell you or to show you say aye achese agita chese aje gon chese afedie ade no aye dwe chese enkoyie chese asai atete apansam momba ye nyina ye nsom na ye nsan ma oman Ghana so enjina ho bra 2024 yebesisa abai na edi omampeni John Dramani Mahama ye friend no the nations builder asai abetoa ne mambu so na watumi abu oman no age oman no asai si hobiem aha aye Pendream editorial yebesa say subscribe to this channel so be anytime biara yebeye biribi ye bibi beto no won so won sabe tumi aka na aboa ama wahu de ekoso e oman Ghana mu yadamase